Rob Fran, Heather Yako. Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Thomas G. Kelly III, accident attorney.
Imperial Valley League play begins as one of the oldest rivalries in Yuma plays out. Thanks so much for joining us for week number 8 of Friday Night Lights. I'm Alex Cheney. Clearly, Heather and Rob are not here. They have the night off, so unfortunately, you're stuck with me. The KOFA Kings and Yuma Criminals are having similar up and down seasons. The Kings have yet to win a game, while the Yuma Criminals have played a tough schedule and haven't won since an early season contest against Parker. But these two teams come into this game feeling that their season could be saved with a win against their biggest rival. Let's take a look at our Friday Night Lights marquee matchup between KOFA and Yuma. We're going to start things off with the Crims coming onto the field behind YPD's finest. Absolutely well done, guys. Moving on now, Magdalena's going to air one out to Armando Mosqueda. The nice pickup there. But KOFA, that defense would be ready on the next play with a big sack. And here goes the punt through the returner's hand, and unfortunately that looks going to lead to some bad field position or some good field position if you're talking about KOFA. And then they're going to, on a short toss over to Chris Arlano. He's going to take it in for the touchdown. That's put KOFA's up 7-0. Next play, Magdalena's going to take one over to Tyler Vicker, who's going to pick up some few yards. Had a nice spin move in there, moving the chains. And now here it is, Magdalena going to toss another one over to Mosqueda. Another gain on that one. And Magdalena drops back once again, fires a bullet over to KYMA Moses over in the left side, and he's going to take that thing all the way in for the score. Yuma would go on to win this one 31-14. I'll have a little bit more on this one in just a second. Now, as we move over to the Cibola Raiders, they would be taking on Mesquite. Big game for the Cibola Raiders as they're celebrating Think Pink for October. One of the first plays for Mesquite is an outside gainer that goes nowhere for some stellar Cibola defense that really was flying all over the field tonight. However, they would have one gap. Yeah, that's right. He's going to take that thing all the way up that right hash for the touchdowns. That's going to put Mesquite up by 7 early, but it really wouldn't matter because now we have Bailey Arvizo looking around left and right, finds a wide open Jacob Duarte, who's going to take this thing Superman right up the middle. And they finally bring him down at the 1-yard line. Great pickup for the Raiders. And then finally, Bailey Arvizo is going to look back to pass and decides, I'll just take it myself. Takes a big hit at the end of this, but still goes into the end zone. Raiders go on to win this thing 27-24. Well, now we're going to take a look at the history of the rivalry between Yuma and KOFA. As you can see, Yuma leads the all-time series 31-24. Thankfully, now the Crims have won the last 3 years in a row, and the last 10 matchups between these two teams has Yuma leading 8-2. Great for Yuma. And now we're going to look at the overall standings for the Gila Valley. As you can see, not too many games having been played so far. Some low numbers, but of course, most of these teams will play in conference for the last 3 or so games for the rest of the season. So pay attention because this is going to change and quickly. And finally, for our wrap of our Yuma area games, the San Pasqual Warriors played their last home game of the year tonight while looking to get their first win. So now we take you out to San Pasqual High School and the Warriors taking on Ajo or Ajo. I'm not really sure. So let's take it now. Ajo with the ball. Looking back, a nice dump off to their halfback over there. He's going to take it a few yards, but the San Pasqual defense was ready, and it's a fumble. San Pasqual dives on it, and it's a first down, San Pasqual. Next possession, San Pasqual's quarterback finds a wide open receiver. But check out this block, blocking in the back. You can't do that. And blocking into the back right into your own guy, I just don't understand. Quarterback number 7 with a nice outside gain. Ajo trying to get something going off the play action, and they do. This is a big touchdown by Ajo. Ajo would go on to win this thing 64-22. Well, coming up next on Friday Night Lights, we'll take things over to the Imperial Valley and take a look at the big matchup tonight between Brawley and Southwest when we return.
Milwaukee Kings football, Friday Night Lights.
Well, hey there, welcome back. As at this time, we're going to turn our attention to the Imperial Valley. The Brawley Wildcats are the defending IVL League champions, but are a mediocre 2-3 to start the season. Now, on the other hand, the Southwest Eagles are an undefeated 5-0 and looking like a true threat at this year's IVL crown. Let's see if Brawley could defend that throne tonight, paying a visit to El Centro and the Southwest Eagles. Starting off things here, a beautiful purple and gold out of Southwest. I went to LSU, big fan of purple and gold. Anyway, as you can see, Cameron Youngers, the quarterback for Southwest, a draw, straight draw. He knew he was taking the ball the whole time. Youngers once again, a very nice defensive stop by Brawley there. Youngers with the play action over to Tyler Sycon, making a nice grab, keeping the toes in on that right side of the hash. Youngers on this one, he's just going to keep it himself. Goes all the way into that by that left pylon for the touchdown. Well done, young man. Southwest came into this year with a quarterback controversy, but he solidified that. Now we have Brawley on the return. George Mickle is going to take this one almost out to midfield. Nice jump there, moving around a guy. Good for Brawley. That'll give him some pretty nice field position. Now this is a big run by Nathan Suits with the stiff arm. Get off of me. Gives a little love to the photog there on the sideline. Good for Brawley, moving along. Brawley, however, would go on to win this one 35-14, ending Southwest's unbeaten streak. Moving on now over to Central, taking on the Imperial Tigers. First play here, the Central's Jordan Aki. It's a fumble, and the Imperial Tiger defense would fall on it. Tigers now with the ball. Their quarterback trying to make something happen, Aaron Bonias, but it just wasn't there. He's back once again trying to make something happen with his feet, but that Central Spartan defense just too tough. They'd be there to bring him down. This is Joey Keck on the big run towards the left side. Getting it down into the red zone. And now here's Central. Central moving back. Nick Ramirez, he's going to take this thing down the left side of the field. Big gain. He's going to cross it back over. Picks up even more yardage before eventually being brought down by that Tigers defense. Here's Central again. Alan Pope, flags all over the play, but he's going to get a big run. This Central team pounded the ball all night, big run heavy. However, Imperial would go on to win this thing 38-13. First win for Imperial on the year and against a tough team like Central. Good job, guys. And right now, here are your IVL standings through one game of the season. As you can see, Imperial in the lead there, followed by Brawley. Palo Verde getting the win against Calexico. Big for them, a team that struggled a lot last year. And of course, Southwest gets their first loss of the entire season, ends that unbeaten streak. Of course, we'll see a lot more action on this board as most of these teams in the next 3 or 4 games all play within their league. Well, so at this time, we're going to turn our attention to the Manzanita League. The defending co-champion Vincent Memorial Scots have started their season at an undefeated 6-0. On the other side of the field, the Calipatria Hornets are an even 3-3 and in the middle of the pack. Could the Hornets solve the riddle and beat the Scots? Let's check the highlights. Calipatria Hornets getting excited for this game against the undefeated Scots. Both teams looking ready. Take it off with Vincent Memorial. Hector Robinson, nice play to the outside, hitting his wide receiver, keeping him in bounds, number 29 over there. Now Zeke Fernandez, the quarterback for Calipatria. Ooh, nice play to George Ruvalcaba. Makes a great grab on that one. Once again, Zeke going back, tosses this one over to Jacob Domino. It falls out of his hands, but George is there once again to make a sweet looking grab. Zeke is just running wild. By the way, I love that name, Zeke. And it's not a touchdown. He's very close. He's down to about the 1-yard line. Very next play, though, they'd get it in. The Vincent Memorial Scots go in to win this thing 27-7, keep their unbeaten streak alive. Coming up now, we have Holtville taking on Mountain Empire. The Vikings coming out strong on this one. A little quarterback keeper goes a long way up that left-hand side. Coming back down, Mountain Empire on the fumble, and Holtville is going to scoop it up. They would not score, but they would get very close. And of course, on one of the very next plays, they're going to find that end zone. Holtville goes on to win this thing 55-19. Big win for Holtville. Well, coming up, I'll have your score recap, and I'll hand out my first helmet props. Stick around, because Friday Night Lights keeps rolling.
Friday Night Lights on KYMA!
more Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by Thomas G. Kelly III, accident attorney.
Well, hey there. Welcome back, everybody. Now we're going to take a look at some of our scoreboards to recap the scores from this beautiful Friday night. And we start off, of course, with the old-time rivalry. Yuma does defeat Kofa. Kofa has still yet to win a game this year. Yuma wins its second, moves to 31-24 all-time against Kofa. Cibola would get it done against Mesquite. That moves the Raiders to 5-2 on the season. San Pasqual does not get it done against Ajo. San Pasqual is still chasing that elusive first win this season. And your IVL defending champions Brawley gets it done against Southwest. Southwest, who had an undefeated record going into this game. A lot of hype. Really thought they could break through, but unfortunately they do fall. But 5-1, that's not bad. They could definitely see themselves still in the IVL race while Brawley moves to an even 3-3. Moving on to our second scoreboard here. The Imperial Tigers would get the win against Central, once again bolstering their hopes of an IVL crown, finishing, I believe, in second place just a year ago. Vincent Memorial keeps rolling 7-0, stays undefeated. They're looking pretty darn good over in the Manzanita League. Calaprecha, unfortunately, falls in that one. Holtville hanging up a big 55 on Mountain Empire, who could only score 19. And Phoenix Christian getting it done against Antelope. And it's not on here, however, Yuma Catholic 27, Estrella 21. That was a big game. That's the #1 team in Division 4. Taking on #3, Yuma Catholic wins that game, stays undefeated. Also, the Calexico Bulldogs would lose to Palo Verde 28-8, so that bolsters Palo Verde. They get a big win in the Imperial Valley League, which they need, and Calexico still trying to answer some questions. And moving on now to my first ever helmet prop goes to the Yuma Criminals as a team for an outstanding record against their biggest rival, Kofa. I know where I grew up in high school, whenever we beat our biggest rival, it didn't matter what happened in that season. We could have, just beating your biggest rival is such a big deal for these young guys, and well done. Now we're going to take a look at the schedule of games for next week, week number 9. Of Friday Night Lights. As you can see, a big game starting off with Cibola taking on Gila Ridge in a game that should have a lot of people interested. This has a big coincidence for the rest of the Gila Valley. Also, Yuma's going to be taking on Odyssey Institute, a team that Kofa lost to just a few weeks ago. Calexico and Brawley, Southwest and Imperial. Those are going to be some very big games for the IVL, how that all shapes out. Central's going to take on Palo Verde, and Crawford is going to take on Holtville. And finally, we're going to bring it to you, your play of the week. Magdaleno for Yuma, going to air it out.